McDonald's Coke is the best. It is better than anything. Oh my god. Hey guys, it's C-Ben. I haven't filmed a video in over a year. I think the last time I sat in front of the camera and actually filmed a video was March of 2019. I know I posted one in August, but I was just really lazy and took 5 months to edit it. I actually filmed it in March. It's been over a year. I took Accutane. My skin is a lot clearer than it was, and if you look at my previous videos, it's really bad. And I was really self-conscious, but I got that fixed. It's good now. We're great. Anyway, there is a saying that goes, ask and you shall receive. I think that's how it goes. Anyway, I asked on my story what I should make my next video about, and you guys voted that I should make it about crazy driving stories, that involve me in a car. So I decided I would film it in a car because it's fitting. It just makes sense. So today I'm going to be sharing any crazy story that involves me in a car. In fact, in all 3 stories that come to mind, I am not driving the car a single time. I'm always just a passenger. Let's start with the first story, the one that happened the most recent to me. This actually happened maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it was a few days before the stay-at-home order for the coronavirus was actually put into place. I was with my friend Jacob. We call him Tater. I don't know why. It's just what we call him. So if I say Tater, I'm referring to my friend Jacob. And we were also with my friend Ashley, who's in college, and her college was on break. It was either on break or it was closed because of the virus. Whatever the circumstances, us 3 were in the car. Tater and then Ashley. And I'm saying that they're just gonna pop out, they're here right now. Ashley just comes out from the seat. The 3 of us were in the car and we were okay, we have nothing to do. Let's go to Crybaby Bridge. And I know there are a lot of Crybaby Bridges in Ohio or in the world, or I don't know. There's a squirrel. But we decided to go to the Crybaby Bridge closest to us, and that's in Doylestown, if you know where that is. And to get there, you go on this road called Black Diamond Road, and I'm going to tell you right now, that road is cursed. That road is just a problem, okay? Every time I'm on that road, something bad happens to me. You'll see in one of the other 2 stories that also involve Crybaby Bridge and Black Diamond Road. So we were on Black Diamond Road, and we were driving up to the Crybaby Bridge. We get there, no problem, it's fine. And so then we do the stereotypical, turn off the car. Will it turn back on, or will the ghosts possess your car? Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we turned off the car. We were gonna see if it would turn back on, because that's what you do when you go there. So the car, of course, turned back on, no problem. And then Tater and I saw something in the road, and we were like, what? So we went and grabbed it, and it was this full case of cigarettes. Not a single one had been used. It was completely full. So we were like, what? Because usually when people buy cigarettes, they're addicted to them, so, they tend to, smoke them. No, not a single one was smoked. And cigarettes, I'm pretty sure they're expensive, right? I'm not a smoker or anything, but I've heard that they're expensive. So we were like, what? This is a full pack of cigarettes. So yeah, we just yeeted them off the bridge. We had nothing to do with it. That squirrel was sprinting at the car. I thought I was about to jump on top of it. So we're driving, and I remember this very vividly, okay? McDonald's Coke hits different, by the way. Anyway, so we're driving, and I remember it so clearly. Tater is driving, doing his thing, and then he says, wow, this hill is very steep, or something like that. And then a raccoon is on the side of the road, right? Not dead, but alive. It's chilling, it's looking at us, and it's kind of walking. And then Tater goes,
oh look, a raccoon.
But as he's saying it, the raccoon is suicide bombing in front of the car. Yeah, it just does not stop in its tracks and just runs right in front of the car. He's as it's running, Tater's oh look, a raccoon, thinking it's gonna stop because a car is coming at it. No, it runs and bop, boom. But yeah, so yeah, you would think the raccoon would stop, but no, we actually just smacked into that thing 60 miles per hour. You could feel it hitting the tires. You could feel it running over it again with the back tires. That thing was just dead. Smacked the raccoon. Goodbye. Dead. Okay? So we're Tater and I just start that one laugh where we're it's a laugh but in disbelief. We're we're just what just happened? Smacked the raccoon. Ashley's oh my god, in the back seat. So then after a while, we're driving and we're that sucks. But then the car starts boom, 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 boom. It starts making this terrible noise and lurching all over the place. So we're super confused. we're like, what's going on with the car? Did like the raccoon break something? So Tater pulls over and we go out of the car and we look in the front and see that the front of his car, like the bottom, is just snapped in two, like just split in half, and it's dripping this liquid. And we're like, all this from a raccoon. Like, what was that raccoon like made out of? I don't know, like steel? Like, gee, it's a raccoon, and it just broke the man's car. His car was, it was in two, and there was liquid dripping, and we were like, is that blood? Is that gas? Like, what is that? We had no idea what that liquid was. I thought the car was going to explode. So we're like, shoot, this car is about to like break. So we decided to call the non-emergency police line, so not like 911, but like the local police station. So we called this number and we were like, hey, this car is leaking a mysterious liquid. We hit a raccoon. It's broken into, like, what do we do? She was like, you can call somebody and get it towed. And Tater was like, no, that's a lot of money. We're not getting it towed. And I was like, all right. So we continued to drive and it continued to lurch, like, don't. It was like we were hitting a bump every like few seconds, and we were just like lurching, and we was nervous because we didn't know if the car was going to like explode. Eventually we were by Canal Fulton for some reason. I don't know how. We pull into this gas station. Tater goes out and lifts up the hood and looks at it, and he's like, this is bad. And I'm like, what? And I look over and there's this fluid just leaking out of the front of his car, like leaking and like dripping down the pavement, like it's bad. And I looked it up because it was like this like weirdish like light red, I don't know, so we thought it was blood, but like it wasn't at all. It ended up being like power steering fluid or like transmission fluid, and it was just like, it like broke in his car, so it was like spraying everywhere and leaking. Keep in mind it was also 2:30 in the morning, so we have no idea what's going on. We are stranded in Canal Fulton in a random Bell Stores. It's like 30 degrees and we're leaking transmission fluid all over the place. We're stupid and we just decide to drive home. So we drive to my house because my house is the closest. We pull into my driveway and it's like squirting now, like out of the front of the car. The transmission fluid is like if you like cut your neck open, like out of the car. So I have to wake up my dad and be like, oh, hey, Dad, I'm sorry. He gets up to work at like 5:30 in the morning, so I felt so bad waking him up. I was like, yeah, Dad, my friend's car is actually just like absolutely broken. Can you come help fix it? And he was like, yeah, sure. So he got up and was like, yeah, it's transmission fluid. And Ashley was like, I'm not riding home in that car. She called one of our friends, Ryder, and he came and picked us up, and he took a look at it, and he was like, yeah, that's like power steering fluid, transmission fluid, whatever. So he takes Ashley home, and then Tater just like drives home in his busted up car. The insurance, apparently it looked like we never hit a raccoon, and they thought we were like making it up. So I had to like send the insurance company video and picture evidence of it actually happening. I actually took a video of the raccoon on the side of the road. We eventually found it, and I took a video of the dead raccoon. I don't know why, but I guess it saved them a lot of money in the long run. So anyway, we about blew up in a car that was leaking transmission fluid, and we drove in it for like 45 minutes. So should I be alive? Probably not. Story number 2. This story is a quick little intermission. It's very short. I was in the backseat of the car. I was with Ethan and Stuart. Stuart was driving. Ethan was back here, and I was back here, and Stuart's sister was right where she's in the passenger seat. Stuart was dropping his sister off at their house, so she went and got out, and I was like, okay, she's done, the front seat's open. So I climb up like through this part. I climb up through the middle. Stuart thought it would be funny. We're at the end of his driveway. He hits the brake, right? I'm just in the middle of climbing over the seat. Like I am like right here just climbing. So he slams on the brake. So of course my body just flies forward and my head smacks the windshield like hard. I actually crack his windshield in 2 places, where my head hit and where my shoulder hit. Just cracks the windshield, and it's like split, like it's cracked, and we're just like I'm not hurt. Like it did not hurt at all. I don't know how, because I literally cracked the man's windshield with my head, but I was fine. We were all like, what? And they were like, Ben, are you okay? Like, do you have a concussion? Like they're like shining like lights in my eyes. I was absolutely fine. Like I cracked his windshield with my head, my whole head, my head just into his windshield. And then we went to the movies with his windshield all cracked. Yeah, my head went through a windshield. The last story I'm going to be talking about also involves Crybaby Bridge. It involves Black Diamond Road, okay? The cursed road. if you recall. Like I said, nothing good happens to me on this road at all. So it's similar to the other one. It's a group of friends and we're just gonna go to Crybaby Bridge. The summer of 2018. Yeah. It was a good summer. I was about to be a junior and everybody else in this group was about to be a senior. I was really good friends with a lot of like the older kids in my school. So it was me, Ethan, again, our friend Mackenzie, not Mackenzie who ate hot wings with me in the last video, but a different Mackenzie. I was in the back seat, Mackenzie was in the passenger, and Ethan was in the driver's seat. And it was us three. And then in the other car, it was our friend Austin driving with our friend Bailey in the other seat. And we took two separate cars up to Crybaby Bridge. Austin was like walking on the bridge. Like he would like, okay, so this is a picture of what the bridge looked like, okay? And on the sides where it kind of like bridges up like that, he was just walking on it. Like, if he fell, he would just like fall into the river. Isn't that like the whole point of Crybaby Bridge? Like some chick throws her kid into the river and then it like dies and then it haunts the river. I don't know. But Austin was about to be the Crybaby Bridge spirit if he fell off that thing. Anyway, so we get there, nothing bad happens. As soon as we start driving away, we get like what, like maybe not even a mile down the road, and there's a state trooper that comes the other way in the opposite lane. So we go like that. And it's just driving normally. But of course, we're two cars that just came from Crybaby Bridge at 1 a.m. So of course he's gonna U-turn, right? Austin, to this day, I honestly don't know why he did this, but it made for a good story. So, you know, sometimes you gotta take one for the team. Anyway, so he pulls up to the oncoming lane. We're driving, he pulls up next to us. So we're both driving the same way. And he's like,
That was a statey.
we were like, yeah, we know, we saw it. And then obviously the state trooper just saw him pull into the other lane and like drive next to us. The lights turn on. So Austin gets pulled over, right? And then Ethan, me, and Mackenzie, we're just like, we like look at each other and we're just like, we just go. Not illegally, of course. We follow the speed limit. We just kind of, we're definitely trying to get out of there. We're just driving. We're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We're freaking out. We later learned that Austin actually had expired plates and didn't have his license on him, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know how he got out of that. The cop literally let him off with a warning. Austin's just a chill guy, I guess. So Mackenzie, me, Mackenzie, and Ethan are freaking out. We're just driving around in this place. Rogues Hollow, let me tell you, is the most confusing area I've ever been to. There are just turns everywhere and hills. Some of the hills are so steep that like stop signs are stacked on top of stop signs because you can't see the bottom stop sign. That's how like crazy it is. We are like going in circles because we don't know how to get out of there. So we're just like going on the same roads over and over again. We're like lost. It's like Twilight Zone, it feels like. Anyway, eventually we're driving and guess what road we're driving on? Guess what road we're driving on? Take a wild guess. Oh, you guessed it. Black Diamond Road, the cursed road. We were driving on Black Diamond Road, and there's these tracks that are like triple tracks. 1 track, 2 track, 3 track, red track, blue track, I don't care. There's 3 tracks. We're going the speed limit. Typically, you want to slow down for tracks. We had no idea they were there because we'd never driven on this area before. So we hit this track going like 55, airborne, not even lying. The car is in the air, like launched off the track. And just take a wild guess who is coming the other way right when that happens. The Popo, the state trooper. The state trooper is coming the other way. Just so happens the time where the car is literally flying through the air is when he sees us. So of course, my mans does a Yui. I mean, the car was flying through the air. Instead of just pulling us over, he decides to just...
I accidentally deleted some of the video while editing, but basically he just decided to follow us for like 3 miles, like 3 feet behind us. So basically he was like tailing us.
Ethan's just like sitting at the driving wheel, like, and then Mackenzie just like, she's like, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm back there like looking to make sure the state trooper, like if it's behind us still, and it's just getting closer and closer. It's like right behind us for like 3 miles. Eventually, so we pulled over. This guy was a jerk. He walked up and was like, to Ethan, he was like, so, you ever been to Rogues Hollow before? We didn't know it was called that, so we were like, what? He was like, Rogues Hollow, this is Rogues Hollow. You ever been there before? We were like, no. We were like, no, wait. He's like, what are you doing up at 1 a.m? What are you doing in this? What are you doing around these parts? He was like, I'm taking my friend home because he was taking me home. And he was like, where's your friend live? And then he was out like on blah, blah, blah. He like said where, like near where I live. And he was like, that's the opposite direction. That's not where you should be going. We were like, well, yeah, we're actually lost because we've never been here before. And he looked back at me. Man shines his light in my face and is like, your backseat passenger's looking a little nervous back there. Well, yeah, no dip. Maybe because you were, I don't know, following us like 3 feet behind us with your brights on and you're shining a light as a state trooper in my face. He was like, backseat driver's looking a little nervous back there. Got something to hide? Ethan was like, no, we're just driving around. He was like, honestly, we just wanted to see the bridge. He was like, all right, I'm gonna let you off, but, you know, you better go home. So we're like, okay. And then he was also like, you know, Austin? Austin was our other friend who got pulled over. And we were like, yeah. And he was like, okay. And then he just like left. And we were like, all right, that was a weird man. But we just got back in the car and drove home. And then we all met up at my house. We met up at my house and we're all like, what just happened? Because we just spent past hour lost on Black Diamond Road, the cursed road. Lost, completely lost. Those are 3 kind of crazy driving stories that I have that I've been involved in. No, I've never been in like a car accident. Like I haven't flipped like up in the air or anything. They're not that crazy, but I mean, they're kind of wild. Like what? I was in a car that almost exploded. My head smacked into a windshield and cracked it. And we went airborne on a train track in a city that we had never been to before. And we got pulled over because we were airborne on a track. So yeah, those were some of my crazy driving stories where I actually wasn't driving at all. I was just in a car, similar to what I am now. All of those experiences kind of had me shook. That's kind of what makes, you know, childhood fun. You gotta have those experiences that freak you out. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, you know, give it a thumbs up, comment if you want to. Yeah, so again, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Peace.